Quick Intel, this is our website, quickintel.io. You're very welcome to buy here. Check out their blogs, access their tokenomics charts white paper. I recommend that you do your due diligence to see if this is something that you want to do. Today, we're going to be focused on an external action. Specifically, what are external actions in crypto and how to know if something can be changed after the renouncement. Quick Intel has these blogs that are very informative. It helps you really do your next step of doing your own research. So as in previous videos, what I'm going to do is just break these down. What are external actions? Actions that can be run after renouncing. Part of our DYOR, do your own research before investing in a crypto project, is knowing if it is renounced. Now, as you've seen in the previous video, and you can also click this to read it yourself, we've discussed what a verified contract and a renounced contract is. A renounced contract is when the owner has given up control of the contract and is typically unable to perform any certain actions such as changing taxes or blacklisting wallets. So today we are going to talk about external actions. External actions are actions that can be called even after a contract is renounced. It is important to understand what actions can be taken for a renounced contract to determine if they are at any risk. So if a contract is renounced, how can someone make changes? Each action that can modify items within the contract has the option to be locked down to the owner of the contract, and most of the time they are. So as a mistake, which that happens a lot, if you were to send something to this contract and you need it back, this is what the external action is able to help with. So these two particular actions that are being done, the owner is the only one that can do that, but cannot be done after the contract is in permanent ink. And a automatic action where anybody can get their ETH back if it was sent improperly. And that can be run after renouncing. So the above example can be very beneficial if someone had mistakenly sent ETH to the contract address. If coded correctly, there should be no risk to holders. This is something you should DYOR. Do your own research by looking at the code and or discussing with the project. Now, I understand that this can be a little more difficult. As some people may remember, this is a well-known, famous rug pull in 2001. It was called Squid Games. You can probably see the short clips on YouTube of it happening in front of people's eyes. And it was officially rug pulled where the token was just above $2,800 and it dropped down to half a cent. Was this a malicious act that started from the beginning, or was this a trustworthy team who just let money change them and eventually had the option to do something, which was take the liquidity out of the game or out of the token? So again, if you haven't dug yourself into this kind of stuff, this is what Solidity is. This is the contract source code, and it can be very hard to learn if you haven't done it already. And the reason why I bring that up, because as we learn this, it says that we should look at the code and or discuss. I suggest do both. If you can learn something, maybe some of the easy things, this would definitely help you out. And always reaching out to the project, even though that won't be 100% unless you yourself are the person or you have a very close family member who's doing it. But even then, you just don't know what someone's purpose of starting a project like that is, what their intent is. How do we know if something can be changed after renouncement? And this is where Quick Intel comes to help us out. Quick Intel's scanner displays a simple yes or no to show if the actions that can be performed after a contract is renounced. The next step is to do your own research with the project to understand what those actions are meant to do, and then make a decision if you feel comfortable with their response. So here's the quick example right here. all included in their blog. You can come back here and look at it yourself. Note that if you are a Basic Plus or an All Access holder, the scanner will show you specific actions that were identified so that you can review the code. So right here, if you have the Basic Plus or the All Access, you will be able to see this right here. Actions that can be ran while the contract is renounced. Click here. And then down here are the regular resources of their social media, their website. Now, I brought up Squid Games because this is what I found. Once you look for their contract, which it took me a while to find it, I went right here. This is normally the page you open up to. Holders. And then you can actually go to this thing with the check mark for contract. And I really hope this is the right contract. But I put renounce. Or you can put owner and try to go through these things. And here it says renounce ownership. Admit ownership transfer, meaning maybe the renouncement doesn't count if I were to transfer the ownership to so address. That's my do your own research I still need to do. But as far as I see here, that this is still renounced. And yet they were able to take out all the liquidity. And maybe that was just them taking out liquidity. Maybe there was no external action. But it's best to do your research to understand that. And just as you have seen, this is something I have to do as well. So what we're going to do next is we're actually going to go into the scanner. Last couple videos when I pointed out that I saw some things that were NA not available or things weren't loading quite quickly. In a previous scanner that I was told, you don't want to keep hitting the refresh button because you're going to cause mayhem on the system. Well, this team is different. They encouraged me to refresh it. And I was told that when I connect a wallet, you kind of have to hit refresh to kind of like obviously refresh it. So let's grab a contract and see what's going on here. We're going to Dex Tools. We're going to go over here to Live Pairs. We're going to the BNB chain. And we're going to find something here that seems somewhat doable. TT, which is a lot of liquidity. Holy macro. All right. Now, I have no affiliation with this token. This is literally just a random pick for me. As you can see here, you can click on all these audits and you have Quick Intel that says, no, it's not a honeypot. You have Token Sniffer that says yes. You have Go Plus that says no. We're going to copy this code, this contract. We're going to paste it into Quick Intel. We're going to select the correct blockchain, which is BNB, and we're going to scan it. So from the contract, from TITI, we can see that the perks of having all access is that we get this AI confidence. Now, this was a previous NA for me on another token, and that's where I was expressed that I should just hit the refresh button when something like that doesn't come up. No snipers, contract view, similar contracts to this one, seems like up, Bob, and so on and so forth. Exact contracts just like it, nothing like that. So as we look through the audit, we're going to look at what we just discussed, renounced. Now, again, there are possibilities for external actions. And this is what Quick Intel does for us. So that way we do not have to go the extra step of learning Solidity code. Contains external actions. As the blog said, it is a plain yes and a plain no if it is. The actions that can be ran while the contract is renounced, click here to view. So if we were to hit this, this is going to tell us what this code means. This code is setting an address for accounting. It is like a bank account where money can be sent to and taken from. The code is making sure that only the owner can change the address from the account. So as you see that I was able to find out it is a hidden mint. The market cap is $210,000. The liquidity is $333,000. All they need to do, wow, there's only 11 buys on that in the last 24 hours, even though it was created 14 minutes ago. Now, again, there are a bunch of different scanners out there. If you don't feel comfortable with Quick Intel, please feel free to use any contract scanner that's out there. If you do decide to use the scanner, you can always click right here on access and you can check out the monthly subscription. If you're not feeling comfortable with the tokens, that's perfectly okay. You can subscribe using Stripe, the company they use for credit and debit cards as well. If you use the link below, I am an affiliate of it. It has nothing to do with the token. It's just me doing my part of expressing how much I like this actual scanner. So feel free to use the Basic Plus, so you can always upgrade and do the $12.99 all access. This is what you saw me use today. And I hope that you guys can take the next step of doing your own research and learning what you can about cryptocurrency.